Welcome to another exciting episode of
ZoeTv.
ZoeTv.
We love this time of week.
We love this time of week, and it seems like it's been a little while. I was on vacation.
Well, of course you were.
And then we had Gold Rush week.
Oh, did we ever?
So it's been a little while since we've got to film. So we have an amazing guest that we're going to get to in a little bit. But let's catch up for a few minutes on
your summer vacation?
My spring vacation.
Spring vacation.
Oh, anybody that needs to go and detox, go to Curacao in the middle of the Caribbean. And it's, you know what I found interesting about this island? I knew it was Dutch. It's owned by the Dutch, the Netherlands. It's a kingdom of the Netherlands.
But you didn't know that before you
I knew it. I did know it. But not before I learned about Curacao.
Okay, that's what I mean. Yes.
But I knew we were going to, I didn't realize the influence that Netherlands has on this island in all ways. You can't shop in a grocery store without seeing Dutch ingredients and names of product everywhere you went. It was crazy.
Okay, tell the funny story of buying at the grocery store for the cereal.
Yes,
you have to.
Everything down there is expensive because they import everything.
Well,
so every meal you go out, feeding 2 high school kids and myself and Kelly, it was over $100. Mm-hmm. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it didn't matter. So we had to hone in on one meal out, the rest of it in our little kitchen. And we went to the local grocery store with all the local people, and nothing is in English, and we needed milk because we had cereal. And we said, no one spoke English. Mm-hmm. We need milk. We show her the cereal box. I know what you need. Brings us to a condensed, pasteurized little box.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't know. So we get it home. I pour cereal for the boys. I go to pour it. Chocolate pudding.
I love that story.
Chocolate pudding.
I love that. Maybe that's what they do, though.
That could be their secret sauce for cereal. I don't know. But that's the kind of fun memories you have.
Okay, I have a story. My son is a chef in Romania. And he fed the workers peanut butter and jelly one day before they opened. They'd never had it. They went, ugh. Now they serve it on the menu because it's such a hit.
Because of what he brought, that they've never experienced peanut butter and jelly.
They had never had peanut butter and jelly in a sandwich, and it's a big hit now.
Wow. Well, we learned a lot of ways to eat, ways not to eat. It's an interesting food thing over there in Curacao. But everything about the turtles and the islands and the water was amazing. But to come back right into Gold Rush week and everything that happened last 2 weeks ago at this point, it was incredible.
Oh my goodness. And yes. And so I saw the taping of the play. I wish they would have taped us on the third performance because, man,
I thought the first performance was
rough.
The best.
No, you didn't.
I really did. I thought it was the most raw.
It was raw.
Fun.
I couldn't do it. You and I have always talked about the fact we're not good with scripts.
Right.
And I had to have a script. And the lights are bright, and all of a sudden my ability to read went out the window.
Okay.
But by the third time I could read, and it was
I know, but
good.
the third one just felt rehearsed and good. The first had a special magic about it that was just raw. And, but everybody loved it, and your guys' hard work show off. And the residents, I've heard about it the last 2 weeks, how much they loved it.
No, really?
Yeah, I swear.
Because I haven't.
I have. And they are so appreciative of everybody in it. I mean, I keep hearing.
Well, the acting was great, but I'll tell you, I was so much more nervous because we wrote it. And that is like your work on paper. And that seems scarier.
Okay, so let me ask you. It took a lot of time to write that.
9 months.
You and Gary Miles really spent a lot of time doing it.
Well,
did it come across the final product how you envisioned it as you wrote it?
No. As we wrote it, we changed it so many times. But yes, the end result was people laughed at the time we were hoping they would. And yes, I think it did. I mean, we're amateurs.
Right. But it looked professional. Like the set, how did you guys make the set?
Okay, that's all on Ross.
Okay.
Amazing.
I figured, but
we had a vision and we said, here are and I went prop looking, you know, like for the tablecloths and the candles and all that. But he did the backdrops through a company.
Through a
and
company.
I tell
Okay.
you what, he
because it was fabric,
nailed
right?
it.
The,
Yes.
the whole, it was beautiful.
And he built that door. Well, I mean, Home Depot, but he put that door, because I said, we have to have a door. And he did it.
Well, amazing. So are you going to do another writing of a, or is
Okay,
this, what's
Gary
the plan?
said, what Friday soon can we meet to about next year? I went, next year? No, you need someone else. So I don't know.
Okay, so up in the air. It's up in the air.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We've got to get to our guest.
Yes,
Because
she
this
is
lovely lady
phenomenal.
has really blossomed. She's been on campus for a while, but what I've seen her doing lately has been inspiring to others that have watched her. But I think a lot of viewers out there that are on the fence of participating in certain activities because of pain and because of lifestyle. So I was like, we got to get her on because she is fairly new to the program and doing light speeds better than she was. So with that,
So excited.
Shelby Addington, thank you
Hello,
for joining.
Shelby.
Glad to be here.
All right, so let's start with a little background on you. Your husband lives here with you on campus. So let's talk about the two of you's journey from Texas to Arizona and to Glencroft. So start where you would like.
Well, we had retired finally, and I had been sick quite a while and was not doing well. And my daughter-in-law had come out to help try to get me on my feet, which she did. And then Kyle and Melissa both said, you've got to move where we can help you. You've got to move where we can help you. And I hated to leave it because it was home.
It was home.
I had a beautiful home. We had flowers everywhere.
Yes.
My husband loves flowers, and he's very good with them. And it was hard. It really was to just pick up, and because we had to leave a lot behind.
I bet. And your friends and
Yes,
your whole life.
my whole life, because I had always lived in Texas.
Yeah.
I thought there was no other place.
Right.
And so it was hard, but we finally packed up and shipped everything that we could. We couldn't, of course, ship everything that I really would like to ship, but
Yeah.
we came and they put us in a little really cute little cottage when we first got here, and we lived in that for a year. And
Now this was with your son and daughter-in-law, because
yes,
they lived here.
When they moved us here, yeah.
Okay.
And but I had to. I had already had it. I had, I guess, when I was about 40, I had colon cancer, and I had gone through all that. And when I moved here, they discovered that I had it in my what is this?
Breast cancer?
Oh no, it's not breast cancer.
Okay.
It was in the.
Ribs?
It's in the. Well, you got two of them.
Kidneys?
Oh, kidney or?
Kidneys. Yeah,
Okay.
it was in my kidneys.
Mhm.
And they had to remove one of my kidneys, and so that was kind of a downer.
Yes.
And then I began to just have trouble walking. It just hurt.
After the surgery?
Well, yes,
Okay.
it got worse and worse and worse, and I just got to where I just was spending most of my time flat on my back because it hurt so bad. And I went to doctors. I went to two different ones. The first ones gave me injections, and it felt a little better when they did it, but it didn't last a week,
Yeah.
And so I went through that for several months, and I gave up. And then my daughter-in-law found another doctor who was supposed to be a lot better, and he did the same I guess the same things, but he used a bigger thing.
Oh.
And it hurt like the devil. I mean, it really did hurt just having him put it in.
Yeah.
But he said, no, this is going to do it. And it didn't. So he wanted me to go through a series of 3. So I went through 2, and it got worse when I did the second time. I was hurting worse, and it really wasn't working. And so when I went back the 3rd time, I said, I'm not going to do it again. I said, because it's getting worse. And it really was. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do anything. I didn't have any, it just hurt all the time. I really was in pain. And so I had just given up. And my husband came home one day. He exercises here 3 times a week. And he had heard about Steve. And he said, I wish you would talk to him. Maybe he could help you. And I first said, yeah, like the others did.
Right.
But of course, he kept on. And I said, okay, if you'll just hush, I'll see. So I did. And the first time, it hurt like the devil. I won't say that it didn't. It really did, because I think I really...
Now what were you doing? Were you doing the box?
The box, yeah.
Okay. And it hurt the first time?
Yeah, oh, yes, it hurt.
Because you were probably just in pain if somebody touched you,
I was
right?
in terrible pain when I went in. And it really hurt. And I thought... I almost thought, well, I'm not going to do this. But then I thought, well, I'll try it one more time. Well, the second time, it wasn't nearly as bad. You know, it seemed to be less painful.
Okay.
The 3rd time I went, it was wonderful.
Oh.
It just, I couldn't believe it.
Really?
And it's been that way ever since.
And you're treating the kidney area?
We're focusing primarily on our entire low back.
Okay.
And so what she'll do is she'll lay on our therapy table, and we get her in a comfortable position where, luckily for her, she can lay on her stomach.
Okay.
Some residents
who
will want to work on low back, we can't get them on that table laying flat. So we're lucky because Shelby can go flat. And I can expose that kind of low back right around her waistband area. And then I take these certain probes that are designed with the box to draw that electricity into this affected area. And I use a protocol where we are taking electricity all across that low back. So I don't really focus on one specific area. Like, we have a lot of residents who are working on their knee.
Right.
And I will use a different protocol where we're taking these wands and working around the knee and really acutely working in certain areas. Where for Shelby, because it's going all the way across and radiates, I'm using a different wand, and we're going across the whole thing. And we'll do this for 20 minutes. And then we do a special massage gun that we have added to the routine that is kind of stimulating and
part of the
routine.
machine.
So, yep. So, well, the pain machine we do, and then that treatment's done, and then I follow it up with this massage Theragun.
Okay.
And so the
separate
Theragun
from
separate
the box.
comes in, and we basically vibrate the muscle tissue, getting that electricity to even be dispersed even more.
Okay.
And so the whole thing's 30 minutes. And like Shelby said, we've got a lot of residents working on their back. But she is one of these rare ones that have come in with, I can barely move. I've tried everything. This is the last resort to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Well, it was the last resort.
Right?
I didn't know where else to go.
Right.
And I think that it's been amazing to watch, because I've seen this box in action now for a year and a half, and seen some really dramatic gains with people, especially in the neuropathy program,
right.
With some of the Parkinson's treatments that we're doing. But I always love the back stuff, because backs are tough, and chronic pain. I'm writing
back surgery scary.
Very scary. And I'm writing right now an article on chronic pain in relation to backs in seniors, and the level of emotional pain that comes with back pain is so different than other kind of chronic pain. It's it magnifies because you can't sleep with back pain,
Right.
and you can't sit comfortably, and you can't do
walk.
a lifestyle.
You can't do anything without it hurting.
Right.
It was just misery.
Misery.
And I just thought, I just wish I could die.
Mm.
I really did think that because it just
Well, you
kept
probably
getting,
had no life.
I didn't. It was just getting worse and worse and worse. And I thought, what have I got to live for if I'm going to have to live like this? It's just, I really just thought, I wish and actually I prayed for God to take me because I just was hurting so bad.
Mm.
And this was just, the fact that it worked so fast is what just knocked me out.
It does show you how your body wants to help itself. It does really, because
Good
honestly, you're using electricity to help your body stimulate its own healing.
Well,
Go ahead.
Oh, I just have a question. So, did doctors say why you had the back issue? Was it from the kidney surgery, or was it from?
They never said a word about
did.
what it was,
Okay.
what they were. They just did it. I felt like sometimes they were just doing it for the money. Is
Well,
what I thought.
you have to wonder, what are you putting shots in? Is it spinal? Is it, which shows you, I think, that this machine really does help your body.
Oh, it does.
Help itself. And so how many times have you done it now?
Oh, gosh, how long have I been doing it?
Couple
now?
months.
Couple of months.
Every week?
Every week.
Twice a week.
Twice a
And
week.
you see improvement every time?
Well, it actually just kind of improved like about the third time.
And we're maintaining.
And
that.
you're
We're just
maintaining.
maintaining it.
But what we're maintaining and what we're going to build towards is her ability to get a little bit stronger in the gym, being able to do things now that she's through this stage of complete chronic pain. I can't move, to, oh my gosh, I can actually function a little
Right.
bit.
And
Now
build
we got to
that
get
core.
stronger. Now we got to get
Yes.
the core strong. We got to get her hips strong. Got to get moving. And because legs atrophy, things happen when you can't move like that for
Yes.
years because of pain. It takes a toll on other parts of your body. And so that's the next step.
Well, and I think the really interesting thing that you both said is the emotional part. When you're praying to God that I don't want to be here, that's significant emotional impact from pain.
It was continuous pain.
Yes, and it's exhausting.
It wouldn't give up.
No.
I mean, I couldn't. I took everything under the sun.
Yeah.
Trying to, and it just nothing worked.
Oh,
Well,
I'm so glad.
I think that point right there is another one that residents need to hear, is because Western medicine and the doctors are so quick to prescribe medicine.
That's
And
what I think,
and now
too.
in 2023, maybe a little bit more apprehensive for pain killers because they're a little bit more aware of some of the side effects. But still, that seems to be the go-to immediately, is a prescription for some kind of a painkiller.
to cover and mask.
And you're not getting to the root cause. And it's like, part of the article that we're writing is showing that there are so many complications because of these pain meds in other ways of life, of
Yes.
your kidneys, or infection, or falls because you're dizzy because of the pain med. And there's so many other things in play. Whereas this kind of like holistic approach, which is the electricity from the box, coupled with a nutrition program, proper hydration, sleep techniques, spiritual aspects. Anybody in the pain group that's within a group, we always have those Bible studies as a part of it.
Right, the
Because
emotional.
you have
and
to unpack
you do.
that spiritual side and emotional side, because there's so much research out there on chronic pain and related to strongholds and emotional stuff in the past.
Oh, absolutely.
And so if we can start unpacking that and getting physically stronger and working with technology, I'd say that strategy is the way to go.
I am 100% behind that, and I do think
Well, I certainly am.
I know I do still think, talking about the spiritual thing, God planned for our bodies to take care of itself the best it could. And I think that blockage, when you unleash that blockage, that's what you're doing. You're showing the body, say, look, you still can help yourself. You still can make yourself
Yeah, exactly.
move. And that is that is God's hand right there.
Right. I agree. And I think the other thing that is this pain program becomes a little bit more of a focus on this campus. Before we had the box, it was an adjunct to a lot of other things. And now it's because of the impact we're making on residents like you that is like, holy cow, I can do this for free here on this campus. This is the reason I should be living here.
I know.
But it's
for
like
free. That's
for free,
amazing.
We'll tap more into that. But it is like, I think there's so much to be had with a strategy that incorporates nutrition, exercise, lifestyle, so that you can enjoy Ross and the activities and all that Glencroft provides. Because when you're living with chronic pain and you're sitting in isolation,
You can't enjoy anything.
You can't enjoy anything.
No.
You're exactly
and
right.
what they're showing
Been
is
there,
the
too.
percentage of seniors over the age of 65 that have chronic pain, meaning they diagnose chronic pain or address it, is something that lasts for more than 3 months. If you're having a pain that's 3 months or longer, you kind of shift in from acute to chronic pain category. And what they're showing is this crazy increase in seniors over the age of 65, chronic pain leading to early Alzheimer's dementia.
Really?
I mean, the link is staggering.
Because you're isolated.
Because you're
and
isolated,
you don't
depressed,
have
you-
socialization.
Exactly.
You don't sleep.
Yes.
All those things make perfect sense.
100%. And so if we can get a handle on this chronic pain through this holistic approach, I think, and again, it's kind of anecdotal, but I think we're going to make some strides in some of the dementia cases and Alzheimer's on this campus. I really believe
Well,
it.
I mean, we know for a fact, and they know for a fact that the dementia part happens 20 years before you see the symptoms.
That's right.
And they know it has to do with your hearing and your sleeping and your socialization and your eating right. And when you can't be out talking to people, you just are in your own world, right?
Right. And I was so active
Prior to that.
prior to that. I just, it was hard for me to just take. I mean, I thought, who wants to live like
Right.
this? Of course, I'm 83 years old now.
Wow.
So I can't.
I would not have guessed that.
Well, I am.
But you've lived, we've talked a lot about your past, and you lived a very high functioning, very busy, you worked hard.
Yes.
Talk real
yeah,
quick about
what
your
did you
job.
do?
Well, I work for a company that built equipment for the what I want to say, not only for the United States but overseas.
Okay.
For equipment for people who were digging up that oil,
Oh, for oil workers.
Yeah, all
okay.
workers. It was just really, we had a huge, huge business overseas and in the United States. And I started out as just working on a computer till they found out that I was kind of good at other things.
Yeah.
And I went from that to being head of, they made it a whole department. They separated the people who were just buying replacement parts from the people that are buying new. And I was in the replacement parts. I actually was made head of that department, which
Wow.
hadn't existed originally. But they found out that I was good at it. And I as I said, I tell everybody I worry about my feet because they said, well, I don't understand why your feet maybe bother you. I said, well, I ran in high heels for about 35 years.
Yes, that will do it.
And it will do it, I'm sure. And that probably had a lot to do with my
Absolutely.
back. That's what I think.
I think
That's
you're
what
right.
I think. And it just, but women then, we dressed up in suits and we wore high heels. You just didn't go around in anything else.
Right, now we know it's better to wear flats.
Yes, but
Now, when did you retire? How old were you at retirement?
I was 60. 62 when I
Okay.
retired. Against my will, my husband had already retired, and he's a bowler. He was.
Yes.
He loved to bowl, and he wanted to get out and get on the circus, you know, so he could go. And I argued with him for 2 years. I didn't want to because I loved my job. I really did. You know,
Yes.
I couldn't think of a job that anybody could ever have that was more. I didn't just do that. My boss, who thought I could do everything for some reason, we were at the same age when we went to that, both entered that company.
Wow.
We became friends, and he just moved up, and he kept pulling me up with him
That's
because
awesome.
he said he knew I could do it.
Right.
So I mean, I did things like, well, the company had a big retirement cottage, like I guess you would say, for the upper people in the company. And he had me go down and redo it. That was beside my other work,
Yeah,
you
right.
know? And I did that, and he bought a new house, and I helped his wife redo
You were
that.
like a multi-tool
Yeah.
I
person,
was.
girl.
I
Yes.
did everything. And when I had to stop and go out of town to do things, I had people helping me, of course. I had a lady who was very good, but she hated it when I had to go out of town. And of course, when we sent things overseas, usually when a company over there wanted a new
Like piece of.
well, not just a piece; it's a whole
The
whole thing.
Yeah.
The whole, like, you'd set up a whole
Crane operation.
yes
for
operation, and they would buy 3 years worth of replacement tools
Oh.
to
There you
go along
That's where
with
the money
it.
is.
So here I go. I had to get all that, and then when it was ready to go to ship, I had to go down to Houston and stand out in the rain and the cold or whatever it might be, and watch and be sure every piece got
on that.
and check it. And it was,
Well,
I loved it though. I
yeah.
really did. I really did.
It comes
So
across.
I usually had to spend 2 weeks down there when they were shipping out, because it'd take 2 weeks to load all that mess.
Oh, I bet.
Well, it's no wonder your back took a toll.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we know now.
But well, I wouldn't change.
No.
For
No.
it. I loved it. I really did, and I didn't really want to stop. But my husband wanted to make the rounds, and we did that for probably about 6 years, till I just said, I can't do this
Yep.
anymore. I want to settle
And now
down.
you're here.
And now you're
Yeah.
at Green
We're lucky that-
We
well,
love it.
I had lots of fun, though.
That's it.
That sounds
All right.
like it.
We are out of time, unfortunately. We're going to have you back with your bowler, because I want to get into the bowling.
Yeah.
How many perfect games this guy has had is spectacular. But you are a rock star. You are going to be so sought after on campus, I hope, for people asking questions about what we're doing for you.
It's
and-
wonderful.
Yeah.
I just wish that everybody could.
Me too.
Could do
Everybody
it.
needs to be able to do this.
Yeah, encouraging. So when
Yes.
you're out there, keep up the encouragement, because we do have a waiting list, but we always encourage everybody to get your name on it, because we are trying to tackle all of our residents and their pain needs.
Is it possible we could ever get a second one?
You know what? This is the lady that could get it done.
Well,
And
This is the foundational lady.
So you could have maybe 2 people
Yeah.
working on it?
Like this. All right.
Well,
Because
that's the
honestly,
point of these papers. So
That's the point of these papers. But Shelby, again, thank you for
thank
joining
you
us.
very
oh,
much.
well,
You're an
thank
awesome,
you
awesome
thank
lady.
you for having me.